Thank you very much. Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, officials from Kenya and Italy, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm very happy to be here this evening to finally wrap up this very important session of the Business Forum that has brought together business people, entrepreneurs from Kenya and Italy together in one room to sample the opportunities that are available for us to undertake, working together as one team. I am truly grateful that we have a full room here. It's one of the most well-attended business fora I have attended anywhere. And it speaks to the confidence that has been developed between both the Italian business community and the Kenyan business community. And it serves as an encouragement to those of us who are policymakers that we have a real opportunity. When business steps up, then it makes work very easy for those of us in the policy-making space. The numbers, as has been said here earlier, are very encouraging. We are seeing opportunities of growth, both in exports from Kenya and also in the business opportunities that are being undertaken by Italian business entities. We now have close to 50 major Italian business entities doing business and operating out of Nairobi. We just opened the office the other day of MedO Foundation that will again continue to build synergies between Kenyan companies and Italian companies as we look at the opportunities that exist for investment. Let me say a couple of things by way of opportunities that are available in Kenya. I know the CEO of Kenya Investment Authority, who is here in this meeting, that gentleman there, has explained to you investment-ready opportunities, bankable opportunities that are available in Kenya that are awaiting investors, joint partnerships, public-private partnerships to undertake those investment opportunities. And the coming together of the business communities of these two countries, one from Africa and the other from Europe, not only opens opportunity for Kenya and Italy, but it also opens opportunity for European market to the Africa continental market. So when you see an opportunity in Kenya, it's not just in Kenya. It's actually a door to the East African community, a population of 330 million people, to COMESA, which is a population of 680 million people, and to the African continent, a population of 1.4 billion people with a GDP of $3.7 trillion. So, as you sit in this room, there is huge opportunity for your businesses, both in Kenya to the African continent and in Italy to the European market. Aside from the opportunities that have been mentioned by the Kenya Investment Authority, from a public sector, we have rolled out 3 major programs that have significant investment opportunities. We are looking to generate 10,000 megawatts of energy from geothermal, wind, solar, and hydro. The opportunities are available for you to sample. We are not only profiling those opportunities for generation of energy, but we are also ready to co-invest with you. Those who are ready to invest in that space, so that you know that we mean business, and so that you know that we are ready to risk our own resources. We're going to put in our own resources as Kenya to support the investment in energy generation. We're not only putting on our own investment money, but we are providing an offtake mechanism that guarantees that the investment you make will have a return that is guaranteed by the government of Kenya. We have investment opportunities in water harvesting, water storage, and water reticulation. This is largely for commercial purposes of irrigation and food production. These are not social projects. These are commercial projects. We have investment opportunities to build 50 megadams to de-risk or to make it bankable. We are prepared to put in, for every investment, up to 20% of the investment by the government of Kenya. And we are looking at different instruments now. I know for a very long time, many companies expected that we are going to borrow money and then hire contractors to do the projects. We are re-engineering that space. For social projects, that's going to be the case. But for commercial projects, we are looking at new instruments, investment instruments, public-private partnerships, joint ventures to work on these opportunities. And the reason why we are rethinking the development infrastructure in not just Kenya, but in our continent, is because fiscal space in our budgets is shrinking. And we do not want a competition between commercial projects that are commercially viable, crowding out social projects like education, health, and social services from our budgets. So projects that are commercially viable, we want to work with the private sector. And that is why we want the private sector at the heart of development, so that public projects become investable commercial projects. So we have opportunities in generation of energy. We have opportunities in water harvesting. And we also have opportunities in transport and logistics. We just announced a tender to do the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport afresh. We're looking for investors who are ready to invest with us. We are equally going to invest as government of Kenya because it's a commercially viable entity. And we are also looking at people who are ready to invest in our ports. We're looking at people who are ready to invest in our transport corridor, especially the superhighways with tolling. So we were looking at another 2,800 kilometers of toll road in Kenya. And we are looking for people to work with us, invest with us. And so that you're confident, you're not going to invest alone. We're going to invest with you. We're going to put in our own investment, as other investors are putting in their investment. And why do I say these opportunities are good for Italian businesses as they are good for joint venture companies that will come from the Kenyan side? I can give you 3 or 4 reasons why this is a good place to invest. Number one is that Kenya is the 6th largest economy in our continent. And number 2, we have our macros that are very stable. We have our exchange rate that is stable. Inflation has been around 4% for the last 3 years. We have managed to stabilize our dollar exchange rate. We have managed to stabilize our interest rates. And number 2, if you're looking for a destination where your investment has reduced carbon footprint, Kenya has 93% of our grid as renewable energy. So if you are looking at decarbonizing your companies and your investments, Kenya is the right place to deploy your investment, because you not only have the benefit of returns in terms of money, but you also have benefits of decarbonizing your businesses and your investments. Number 3, we are a robustly democratic country. You can count on the Kenyan judicial system to protect your investment. And additional to that, we have worked on protection of investment treaty between Kenya and Italy, and also avoidance of double taxation. So there is a legal and a framework that enables your businesses to operate in a manner that is protected. Rule of law is a significant issue. People want the confidence that their investment cannot be appropriated one morning by somebody. You know that your investment is protected, and the rule of law is as much a part of Kenya as it is a part of Italy. One more reason why I believe your investment is the right place in Kenya is that we have one of the best human capital anywhere in the world. If you want hardworking people, you will find them in Kenya. If you want intelligent, people, you will find them in Kenya. And we have one of the best education systems anywhere in the world, and we keep working with the best. The reason why this afternoon I was discussing with the Prime Minister Meloni on the need to collaborate in matters research, innovation, science between Kenya, and we've just signed an instrument to facilitate greater collaboration in the space of science, research, innovation with Italy. We are also tapping into Italian equipment to train our technical training students so that we sharpen their skills and make sure they are ready for business. So we have a solid, and I'm very proud of the Kenyan human capital. If you ask any company, any global company, they will tell you when they have a choice to hire a Kenyan and somebody else, they will hire a Kenyan. Let me also mention to you that Kenya opens doors to a very big market, present and future. Just for your information, by 2050, a quarter of the world's population will be living in Africa. By 2050. So if you are looking for market for your products, this is the time to have a footprint in Africa. And this is the opportunity for you to set it up in Kenya, because it will serve the present and it will also guarantee the future. And I believe that this is the opportunity for you if you're thinking about market and if you're thinking about the future. That is where the future is, and that's where the future market is. And just for your information, Africa has been fragmented for a long time, but today we have built a trade infrastructure around the Africa Continental Free Trade Area that consolidates the 1.4 billion people in the African continent into one single market. And therefore, there is opportunity for you to think about it in that manner. And finally, as we look at building synergies between Europe and Africa, we are a continent rich in raw materials, from minerals to oil to energy, name it. And we are all agreed, and I remember having a conversation with President Mattarella in the presence of the Deputy Prime Minister here, that it is now a fact that we all agree that it doesn't serve Europe or any other place to transport raw materials from Africa to anywhere. It makes logic, it makes business sense, it is the responsible thing to do, to process whatever it is in Africa, whether it is minerals or it is other raw materials. It makes sense for it to happen in the African continent because that's where the raw materials are, that's where you have energy, that's where you have the human capital, you have the men and women to work on it. Because doing it otherwise doesn't work. Because if you transport opportunities for jobs from Africa into Europe, then you will force the young people in Africa to come to Europe. And you know what that means. The consequences are not very good for anybody. So it's just a responsible thing to do, is to make sure that we keep the jobs in Africa and share the products globally. So just to let you know, we have some of the largest reserves of raw materials, and we want a win-win partnership. Resources from Africa, human resource in Africa, technology, and financing from Europe. That becomes a collaboration, a win-win outcome. If you have raw materials in Africa and human capital in Africa, you have technology and financing from Europe or elsewhere, then that collaboration brings out a win-win outcome. So this evening, I want to encourage the private sector here that there are opportunities, and we are committed as an administration in Kenya to working with the private sector. We have made it our central pillar. The private sector in Kenya can tell you that every opportunity that we have that can be undertaken by the private sector, we do not waste time as the public sector. We get the private sector to do it. I will leave you with one phrase, finally. It is said that fortune favors the bold, but global markets reward the prepared. Kenya is not only bold, we are also prepared. So we want to work with you and see to it that we turn every interest, every intent, and every opportunity into something concrete for projects, programs, and businesses. Thank you very much.